everyone, and welcome to another Roll for Chaos production of the Sparrows. I'm here with your favorite pirates tonight. Everybody, give them a round of applause in the audience. I don't hear anything. Oh well, I guess the applause wasn't there, but you know, it's fine. It's fine. So we're gonna go around the table here tonight at random, like I usually do, and tonight we're gonna reveal a little bit more about each one of these individual characters. You can learn a little bit more about what makes them tick, who they are, where they came from, that kind of thing. So, without further ado, we're just going to jump into this. We got plenty to do. We got little time to do it in. Rolling a d6, we're going to see what happens. All right, that is you, Gwen. So, B, what does your scene look like? What is your moment of pride?
B is standing once again at the navigation area with her foster father, if you will, Marcus, standing next to her, helping her to lay out her very first navigation, trying to wind her way past an asteroid belt, learning correctly and then forgetting it again the next time that she did it. But the first time, she crafted the perfect path that just arced around the very edge of the asteroid belt, straight on to a ship that they were able to loot for the biggest loot they had gotten so far. And that is the thing that B is most proud of.
That moment where you realize you can do this and you can be lucrative and everything worked out and it's great and it's nothing like what's happening at this very minute in the game.
Yeah, pretty much.
So we'll move clockwise here. Moving on to Jackal and Amos. Give us your scene, sir.
Well, we start with Amos just underwater. Literally just lying in the mud bed, waiting for a really large fish to pass. With lightning reflexes, they just move, grab the fish, drag it back to shore. Fish hoisted over the back, they make their way to town, make it to the butchers, they get chopped up, they get home. To call it organized chaos wouldn't even begin to cover it. There is screaming, there is racing around. Amos takes a deep breath and he goes in. They go in. Squabble between siblings about a hairbrush. Handled by improvising some tools. Just a fork, bend it in half, put a few of them together, tape it up, make it look like a comb, that sort of thing. Over onto the guys, they're fighting over who broke whose toy. So they take what was left of the broken hairbrush, use it as a bit of a support, fix the main area, go on to the next area. Food fight. Handles that, and just as they're done at the end of it all, scraping the mashed potatoes out of their eyes, they just stop and appreciate the quiet. That just serene, no one's fighting, everyone's eating, everyone's playing. The adults are drinking a little bit, not too much, if any at all. And Amos just settles back, just takes it all in, watches it all.
Nice moment of Papa Lezerin working with all those kids. As we move on from there, over to Nora. Clarion.
Yeah, Clarion, she is walking up to a clerk's counter with her current owner, and they are about to transfer ownership from this woman who is this kindly little gray-haired woman, and Clarion has been working in her, basically her town clinic for probably a good 2 or 3 years now, and has earned enough money on the side to buy out her own contract. And they go up to the counter and they come up together, and the old lady encourages Clarion to speak for herself and negotiate, or to tell the clerk yes, I am in fact an independent automaton now. And I think that is definitely a lot of pride and fondness for that old lady and for that moment.
Aw. Heartwarming moment of working very hard to get something for yourself. Excellent pride moment. Move over to Kai. Leifei.
A young kid runs through the street of a town. Behind him, you can see the visage of 4 dwarves chasing around, looking after him, shouting out to try and find an elf somewhere in town. He dashes, incredibly small, with a white mohawk on his head that he thought was cool, dashed in with a bit of black dye. As he runs around, there is a very, very long scarf that chases after him, Konohamaru style, if you've seen Naruto. As he dives out of the way, time passes. He ducks into a shop, waits him out, and then continues on. They're gone now. And he's sly, he's quick, but not always. He's been caught before, unfortunately. And he walks through a city street full of Skixen. They're all a lot shorter than him, even though he's small. And he moves off to a small place off the side where 2 Skixen, a blonde one and a shorter, dark-skinned or dark-furred one, seem to practice. They're moving through some sort of something, martial arts, fist fighting. And the smaller one, the black-furred one, looks over towards him, gives him a wink. And small Leifei walks past, sneaking by his master, or what he thinks is his master so far, not yet, and goes down towards a hatch on the side of the building. Something had been told by his friend and his brother. Something that was secretly here. He opens it up, popping open the lock with a bit of tomfoolery and skullduggery. And as he goes in, downstairs, there are torches. One that he lights up with of his fingers. Elves are good with magic, even this young. And around him, he can see the visages. Statues made of wood and bark. All of a huge line of Skixen. There's a halfling in there, one, but many, many Skixen. And as he looks over them, names, masters, people that have lived lives that quite short as Skixen do. There's many and many of them. Until he gets to the end. Where he sees one figure, tall, with sharp ears just like him. And as he looks to it, there's a bit of a goofy smile that draws on his face. The first time he's seen an elf in years.
Nice to see something that reminds us we exist, and to see the direction kind of building up for who Leifei becomes ultimately. We move on over. Benjamin, Red Iron.
Scene: a wrecker called the Agitator. Setting: space. Location: the engine room. Characters: a portly dwarven captain named Manfred, and the chief engineer of the Agitator, Sprocket Snout. And lurking in the corner, our dear main character, Red Iron. Sprocket Snout is explaining to Captain Manfred why the engine won't work. I don't understand what's going on. Every time I try to key it up, the whole thing, it just makes like a little whirring noise. Can't you hear that? The captain says,
I don't hear a single thing, Sprocket Snout. There's nothing wrong with this engine.
No, listen.
Yeah, I don't hear Sprockets, Snout, I don't hear anything.
What do you mean you can't hear it? That's what's wrong with the engine. I think we need a new pod. Is there any way we could like go back to like a space station or something?
We're currently stranded, so if you don't fix this, I think you're going to have to get out and push.
And then from the corner, Red Iron speaks up. Red Iron, having been assigned to this ship 2 years after the incident, hasn't really said a word. But Red Iron speaks up. I can hear it.
What? Did that Lesrin just talk?
Yes, I can hear what's going on with the engine. She has a little itch under a few plates. If you get in and scratch them, she'll work again. I'm certain of it.
Who the hell are you?
I am called Red Iron.
I'm called Red Iron who?
What? I am called Red Iron.
No, you will address me as Captain.
Is that what they call you?
That's what everyone calls me. I outrank you. What exactly is your position on this ship?
I am the interim assistant to the associate chief engineer aboard the agitator. You're the janitor, Red Iron. The janitor. That's what I am called, is the janitor.
Well, you are to address me as Captain because I outrank you.
So you outrank me, so you are called Captain?
Yes.
Okay. I think I get it now. 8 months later, the entire crew of the agitator is sent away on a lifeboat to a nearby planet after being taken by the Archimedes. The only one aboard is Red Iron, who refused to leave.
Oh, and the origin of Red Iron calling everyone captain. That was brilliant. So last time on Sparrows... Hey, Bees, thank you for the sub. Last time on Sparrows, we were on board an outpost that you all decided to ransack for supplies because they were slowly, like tiny, not a whole big staff of individuals, a threat that was determined to be adequate to potentially get those things you need to travel long distances, since you've kind of been stranded in the middle of nowhere, way out in the void, by no fault of your own. And then, after a successful breach and clear to get inside the building, there was a whole lot of issues as the entire station was dislodged from the asteroid it was built into. Mind you, this was never meant to be free-floating in the void. And gravity went a bit wonky. The machinery there was basically telling Red Iron that it can't handle this kind of stress. It wasn't designed for this kind of stress, so... you know, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, table squishes a guy, people are fighting, that's where we are. So we're going to jump right back into where we were. And then we'll see what happens next, everyone. So, last time we left off, let's see, it had been... Amos had killed the officer there with a well-placed strike of a knife to the neck, if we all remember. And now I will change over to the appropriate music as we go into the enemy crew's turns. The individual that had been squished up against the wall by Amos and that officer in front of him finally extricates himself from the plant material and moves off to the side, seeing the pirates all around, seeing the death, his commanding officer stabbed in the throat, bleeding out in front of him. He draws a revolver off the floor that he had dropped and when being pushed over, and proceeds to point it nearly point-blank range at Amos, firing while Amos has got one arm around the edge of the shield and is kind of peeking his head out. Amos, what do you do?
I'm going to lightning reflex and slash, preferably at the arm before it goes off.
Lightning parry, is that what you're saying?
Affirmative,
Okay.
Captain.
So you're using your reflexive action to lightning parry. So that costs you 1 overload. You are now at your limit. If you continue using abilities, you'll start taking damage, just so you're aware. So you swing in and try to knock the barrel of his gun aside, so it's not able to hit you. If you roll high enough, you might disarm him. You might take out his hand. So go ahead and give me a parry roll with your blade. I think that's just going to be equal to, not your shield parry, but just, yeah, you've got parry on the sheet already. Just roll a parry, and we'll see what the enemy gets on attacking you. So your opponent gets a 11 to get you. So you got to get higher than 11 to parry, and if you get significantly higher, you might have a better result.
Just roll off a lightning parry.
Just roll off of parry on your front sheet is fine. If lightning parry is set up right now, here, hold on. You can roll off of...
I see shield parry. Never mind.
Yeah. You're not using shield parry. The one that's just parry, because you're using your knife.
Roger.
There you are, and 5. That is not going to be high enough. Do you have any other options?
Not this early in the game. I'm going to tank it.
So, shot comes out, rings. You bring your dagger up to try to block. The opponent is going to hit you. Hits you in the right arm, the edge of it holding the blade as you're like striking around at him, and deals 3 points of damage to your right arm. Looks like you do have armor on there, so take that off first. And then it's another crewmate's turn in the distance. There is one in the hallway who has seen a little drone just fly out into that space and doesn't recognize it as one of their own. Raises a rifle from hip and fires at your drone, Nora. If you'll give me a defense roll,
Sheldon.
a Sheldon C roll for combat, and see if you can avoid the attack. The opponent gets an 11. Sheldon gets a 13, zipping to the side, and is able to stay out of the way as the gunshot goes off. But the soldier yells out, "That one's not one of ours! Take it down!" And the officer standing nearby that had ignored it goes, "Oh, really?" And you see him draw a revolver and fire from the side. Sheldon, you can roll another defense. You're at -2 at this point with that C roll. The officer gets a 6, 7, 8. Gets an 8. Gotta count sometimes. Critical failure, Sheldon! Does Sheldon want to have additional damage caused to it, or cause a complication aboard the ship somehow?
Aboard the station or aboard the Archimedes?
Big B's gave you a reroll. It would be aboard this station because you're not on the Archimedes.
Okay. I was wondering how that would work. Thank you, Bees.
Bees did give Sheldon a reroll. Oh, much better that time. Sheldon yet again just zips out of the way. Bullets going by. And I wonder if I have these set up right now. I don't know if I do. Let's try it. Here we go.
Madam Clarion, I am under attack.
That isn't quite right, but we'll use it for now. So Sheldon responds and tells you that there's, danger.
Then I will radio back to him. Please evade and continue surveying.
Do not engage.
Question mark.
Correct. Do not engage.
Affirmative.
And we move to another crewmate. A door to the side opens up, and a crewmate attempts to come in gently from this weird fluctuating gravity situation happening in the rest of the chambers, and does so without falling on their face. So, as the door opens, Amos and Red Iron and Clarion, since you're heading in that direction, can see a little bit further into it, so I will reveal a little bit of what's back there. You see another door, you see some refuse piled up, you see some bags of some sort of food, probably flour, baking goods, that kind of thing. And as they make it inside the door, they turn, they see Clarion, they see Red Iron, they see Amos off to the side fighting. I'm going to have a random roll determine who is being attacked. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Got it. That is Red Iron. Seeing you are weakened, seeing you're facing in the other direction, and the soldier knowing that he has to take any opportunity available since there's dead soldiers everywhere in here, a gunshot comes towards your back, Red Iron. The opponent gets a 17.
Ew.
You is
Gross. Red is. Oh man. Red is gonna dive behind Amos.
Use Amos
That's
as
the
cover.
only cover available.
All right. You can use a reflexive action to duck and cover. That will give you a +2 to your defense roll. And if you choose to stay behind Amos without attacking from cover, you can actually gain an even greater defense next time something
Well,
happens.
let's wait for me to fail this.
Yes, there you go. Oh! 15, 16, 17, you are tied, which actually succeeds for you against this level of an NPC. So you narrowly avoid it. What does it look like as you use Amos for cover and it works to protect you, but doesn't hurt Amos? You have to describe that.
Red, like, really quick dives behind Amos and just sort of pivots the shield, just like bashes it really quick, and then like the shield kind of nudges the shot, kind of like goes off the edge a little bit, bounces a couple of spots, and then Red's like, thank you, officer.
Cap, you're welcome.
For your information, we're being flanked.
Noted.
All right, next we pop back to the Archimedes. Beatrix, last time we left off on that ship, you and Leifei had been dealing with a variety of your own problems. Leifei had maneuvered the ship into this tiny, tiny alcove, too small as a matter of fact, and almost wedged it, causing a small amount of damage to the outside of the ship. And you had been heading off to assist Cullens, I believe. Was that correct?
That is correct. We were going down to check on the captain.
Right. So you rush into the medical center where the captain is laying on bed, covered in washcloths and everything, and you can literally see steam coming off of him inside the room. There's this aura of sauna that you kind of walk into. And what do you do the first moment you go in there?
She's shocked because she's never seen Captain Cutlass down like this. So she's going to rush over to his side. Captain, Captain, can you hear me?
Give me well, how are you attempting to reach out to the captain to get anything from him at all?
She's going to reach out and try and touch his shoulder and kind of
Okay.
jostle it a little.
Is there a stat you'd like to use to try to do something to get his attention or to try to make him lucid in some way?
She'd probably just be paying attention to his reaction, so maybe an aware roll.
Okay, so you're looking for any kind of response at all as best you can and just trying to stay aware of what's happening. Go ahead and give me an aware roll and we'll see what you find out. There we are, and a 6. B, is that how this
Not
is
great.
gonna? Is that how this is gonna go? Or would you also like to reach? Would you like Zep's assistance?
I think I'm going to go ahead and use Zep's assistance. I've got another Zep assistance, I think, coming up fairly quickly. But yeah, let's go ahead and do that.
All right, go ahead and spend one
Oh,
overload.
wait.
Oh, there's an ace
I
from
did-
Doyle.
I did just get an ace, so let's try that first, and if that
Okay.
doesn't work, then we'll go with the overload.
All right, here we go again. That is a 14, far better.
That's
so,
better.
You call out to the captain, and you touch his shoulder. You're paying very close attention to his breathing. His pulse is very rapid. You can see it like pulsing in his throat. When you touch his shoulder, you see his eyes begin moving like he's dreaming about something. So he does have some sort of response. A little bit more than what you might have if you were completely unconscious. He is very hot at this moment. You think that maybe Cullens was exaggerating on the temperature, but you might want to check for yourself. Collins is sitting there like biting his fingernails and standing off to the side. Is he? I mean, this is really bad, right?
I mean, it's not good, but I don't think it's as bad as you thought it was.
Well, I'm not a doctor. I mean, but it's still bad.
Yeah, but it's been worse. He'll be fine. He'll be fine. Give me a minute to think.
He needs to be cooled down, B.
Can you help with that, Zep?
Of course, I could provide a breeze, or I could try my hand at ice magic, although that's a little outside of my regular realm.
I think ice might be needed now, though. We can work together, Zap.
Certainly. So, let's see if we can conjure some ice then. Put your hands right here and here. You see him like over top of the captain, like one on the chest, one on the forehead. And why don't you go ahead and spend an overload and give me a magical roll and get higher than a 5.
All right.
You got it, gang.
That is a 9.
Technically, that is higher than a 5.
That is higher than a 5. It is not brilliant. If you choose to accept the 9, you will temporarily keep the fever at a reasonable level, but only for the next few minutes. You'll have to do something again after that. If you'd like to maybe re-roll that, or use a different effect, or even take Zep's assistance with Guide My Hand, you might get a better roll.
Let's go guide my hand.
All right, spend another overload, and then go ahead and roll that magical again, this time at a +5 instead of your original roll. Nice.
Much better.
23. Just the application. I am sorry, B, but let me just handle this myself. You seem to be getting in the way just a little, okay?
Okay, Zep, I'm sorry.
It's fine. It's fine. Just stand back, and then suddenly you see this small casing of ice just across all of the sweat that was covering the captain's body. You see the pulse like kick for a second and then start slowing down until there's no longer that vein pulsing thing happening in his neck. You can't see it anymore. It's now weak enough that it's no longer so visible. He, however, does begin shivering quite a bit.
Collins, go get some blankets quickly.
Blanket. Oh, he was melt, and now he's covered in. Okay, fine. Blankets. Yeah. He runs over to a cupboard nearby, grabs a few of the medical blankets in there. Some of those, like ones that look like aluminum foil. Starts like putting them over top of the captain. Rushes back, grabs something that looks almost like a shag carpet, very thick, furry blanket thing. Puts that over top of him as well. Like
We
that.
will help tuck him in, and yeah, that's perfect. Now, keep an eye on him, Collins, very closely. And if he gets worse or better or anything at all, come and let me know, okay?
Yeah. I'll let you know. Thanks for the help, B.
Thanks, Collins. Bye.
Bye.
And she'll run back up on deck.
You see Colin sitting there, staring at his hand, staring at the other one. He looks at it, wondering why it's not spasming like crazy. Clarion did a good job with this. Oh. Whew. And you go running back out onto the deck. Leifei is there at the moment. We will come back to you shortly and tell you what's happening there. Red Iron, it is your turn. All of your actions have been restored. What do you wish to do?
Red Iron sees that we are getting flanked, snaps their useful finger, and the third arm pulls out from the environmental thing and takes a pot shot at the dude that just tried to flank us.
In order to see that individual, your third arm will actually have to completely move on top of this structure. It's relatively large. So if you'll move it at least one square somewhere, and then you'll be able to see and attack. There you go. So it just over the top of this big orb. And then...
Yeah, right on top of the orb.
Go ahead and
then I got to roll the thing.
Now this one's coming directly from your PDO, so it's on your abilities tab for the PDO, or for your PDO arm attack. That would be your C
PDO O roll.
A C roll. C roll is for combat.
No.
O is for other. I guess I should have clarified that on the sheet a little better, but that's where we're at.
Okay.
The opponent attempts to avoid, as it sees this thing come up there, you just, what the hell is that? And you see it like try to duck back behind the door, bringing it in the way. It gets a 19 to defend, the soldier does, but Red Iron's PDO ally gets a 21 hitting. Go ahead and roll damage there, third arm. So useful, that thing. Why is that a negative for?
I don't know.
Try again.
Oh, oops. Hold on. I know how to fix this.
Oh, you were using your range damage for your gun.
I had accidentally put the negative in there, yeah.
Yeah. The damage you're doing is
All right, that should be
actually,
fixed.
it's your PDO allies damage on the abilities tab, is the one for when it's attacking by itself.
Oh. Might be. There, did you see that? Did you see the 7?
I didn't see that, so that's weird.
You want me to roll it again?
Yeah, just double click
It
inside.
was a 5 and a 2. Oh, double click inside. Okay, here we go.
Yeah. There we go. Ooh, better. All right, 12
There we-
points of damage. You blast through. It blasts through and cuts the leg clean off of this soldier, who then like twists and falls to the ground, trying to catch himself. Is able to do so and ducks behind the door, hammering a panel next to the wall, and it just closes. You believe that maybe he's locked himself out of the room you were just in, but
That's
yeah.
probably for the best for you. Red, let's see here. Is the north guy or the south guy in the adjacent hall the captain?
The north guy is the the commanding officer.
Did we hit that guy yet?
Not yet.
Sorry, I'm deciding which stupid decision I'm gonna make.
You can make both.
You make both stupid decisions.
I actually
Why
can't make
both?
both stupid decisions at the same time.
Okay, well, both.
Okay. Oh, right. Red Iron doesn't feel any fear right now. So Red Iron is going to bum rush this captain fella and hit him with the bear hug.
All right.
And then, like, superheat.
trying to entangle him there real quick. Give me a strong roll as you rush over to grab this individual. The officer attempts to get out of the way, but seeing a red, steaming, broken-armed, weird-looking Lesrin coming at him, does the captain cause a demoralizing effect on the crewmates around as you do this, or take double damage from you as he critically failed?
Oh, he's gonna take, because if he dies, then he's gonna be a demoralizing effect anyway. So we're gonna do double damage, and then Red's gonna pop another overload, and just superheated bear hug.
All right, you rush forward, grab a hold of this individual in a hug, and suddenly flames just kind of lick up off of your skin. It's like you captured the inferno from the engine and have just started forcing it back through yourself. Go ahead and roll for damage for me, and we'll see what the individual takes. 9, that's 18 points of damage. You see like burns appearing everywhere and blistering. The commanding officer is going to attempt to disengage themselves from you on their action in order to avoid any future damages from you or whatever. Didn't kill them, but have severely injured them. Red Iron, that was your action. You have 1 reflexive left if you'd like to use that in the future. Obviously, you have had Third Arm use its move and its attack action, so you are clear for the round. We move back over Clarion. It's down to you, and
Clarion briefly looks at the severed crewman's leg and then looks at Red Iron's metal leg, but then shakes her head and dismisses that thought for the moment. And then, so the guy who shot himself out, did it look like he locked it behind him, or can she lock it from this side?
you're not certain. Give me an aware roll, and you can
Okay.
see what you see from this side. 15. There is a panel beside the door that opens and closes it and can set it to lock. Currently is engaged in the lock mode, so it does look like it locks from either side, and there's a pin pad to open it.
Okay. Well, then if there's a pin pad on either side, then it won't necessarily. I would have to jam it shut.
Yeah.
So I think she's actually she's gonna take her PDO and set it to freeze and attempt to freeze the door shut.
Okay.
With the PDO.
So you're going to blast the door to freeze it shut. The more damage you cause with that, you won't even have to roll for accuracy on it. Nothing's moving. The more damage you cause, the stronger the freeze is going to be. So go ahead and give me a damage roll from the PDO. And spend your overload to charge it to do that. And that gives you 6. Okay. That's pretty low. But there is a thin casing of ice over it. It will obviously be stuck. It might require a strong roll for someone to break it open. Unless you wish to re-roll that.
Okay. I don't know how.
Aces would let you do that.
Oh. I mean, it's just a stalling measure either way, so...
Okay. So you have 1 standard action remaining after the shot. What would you like to do with that?
And then I would like to turn around and... Oh, wait, no. I rolled the PDO range, not the PDO elemental effect on that. I'm sorry.
Oh, you are correct. Go ahead and reroll. It's alright, I didn't catch it either. 8.
Still pretty low.
2 more points. So it's a little stronger. It's going to require a strong, strong check of 14 or greater in order for them to open that door. All right, so you still have 1 standard action remaining. I mean, you could take a second shot if you wanted to, or you can move or do something else, or save the action.
Would that require another a second shot at the door, you mean?
Yeah, if you wanted to do that, if you want to use the elemental again, you just spend overload 1 more time, and you can fire once more to encase it further.
I think she's just gonna pray that holds it for just a little bit, and then she's going to shoot straight out that other door into the hallway and at the crew member out there.
From your position, you can't.
Or is
actually,
that Sheldon?
That's
Sheldon.
Yeah, you can't see anybody but Sheldon right now. You saw Red Iron rush through the door and scream, and the sound of burning flesh and the smell move through the building, but that's it.
Never mind then. Let's just shoot this guy down here by the pool table.
All right. So you're going to go ahead and fire
get
at that
clear.
one. Go ahead and give me an attack roll. Oh, another critical failure. You had a bad roll, but it's still going to hit. So, is this individual going to... Do you want something that will benefit your team more, or something that will cause additional damage to this individual?
Honestly, I want benefits for our team, because we need them.
Okay, so you fire, and the little comms piece that this soldier is carrying starts making a horrendous and powerful noise you can hear from all the way across the room in their ear, and you hear screaming coming from other parts of the station as this audio feedback loop is now hitting them, causing them to gain a distraction. So go ahead and roll for damage, and we'll see where you hit. That is 8 points of damage to the left arm. Arm gets hit, his hand comes down, very, very wounded. That arm is pretty much toast right now. And that would be Clarion's turn, but you do have Sheldon. Sheldon has a move and an attack action or whatever. So what do you want Sheldon to do?
I would like Sheldon to move south and continue looking for the medical supplies we need.
All right, Sheldon, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just flies over to here, and you want to use both movement actions, or both actions for movement?
Yeah, if he can see what's down that hallway to the right, then make a decision as to which way to go.
Oh, down to
that would be
what
great.
Would be his right or the map's right?
The map's right.
Okay.
To the east, I suppose.
Okay. So there's a door there. He zips over to it, and then it appears to be locked. So Sheldon's going to have to make an overroll to open the door.
Okay.
As Sheldon moves over to it, it's going to take a little longer than this round to get that door open.
Okay.
Back to the crew.
To be fair, it is a high-stakes situation. He's doing the best he can.
it's working. It's just taking longer than it probably should in the middle of high stakes combat. Okay, so we move back to the ship. Scarborough standing off to the side, just like looking out. Leifei? Yeah, Leifei?
Yeah?
We got a problem. Looks like that drone's coming back.
Drone. Will it see us?
Well, it hasn't yet, but I mean, that doesn't mean it's not gonna.
Well, let's get into firing range then.
Yeah. What kind of wedge here? You think you can make it?
I think I can.
Carrot looks
He's
up
gonna
at
pull
you.
a lever.
Carrot looks up at you and goes, I can push!
Can you help push the cannons into the right direction?
Well, we could, take some from the left side and just roll them across the ship over into the right side so we're facing the big open space.
You got it, mate.
All right, here we go. And you see Carrot immediately rush over and, like, start on these multiple 100-pound cannons and doesn't budge them. Scarborough looks over and goes, "Hey, you might need help, Carrot. You might need help. I'll just no, I've got it. I can do this. This is my job." And Scarborough just looks over at Leifei. All right, I'm gonna go help him. You see him like move over into position near Carrot, and just the two of them together start wheeling it. And you see Carrot just kind of eyes light up, look over at you. I'm doing it. And then it'll be your turn in just a moment. The officer now tries to extricate themselves from Red Iron. Red Iron, give me a tough roll or a strong roll to see if you can stay. If you want to stay clinched, otherwise it'll push you away.
Yeah, I want to stay clinched.
The officer gets a 22 versus your 7. Shoves you back away from them, knocking you back 5 feet, 1 square, and then just, goddamn lizard, point blank points his gun at your face and fires. Give me a defense roll unless there's something else you'd like to do, Red Iron.
Yeah, let's do the defense.
All right.
Here we go.
The opponent gets a 7 versus your 7. No, the opponent gets an 8. That is 1 higher than you. Nope, it's a 7. The feedback in his ear because of the distraction that's being caused by that radio has made that individual just narrowly miss you. The bullet slams into the wall like a millimeter from your face. You get a scale that gets a little bit of a scratch on it.
Oh, it probably hits Red Iron's mask, and Red
Yeah,
Iron's like, I just stuffed that.
It's like a scrape noise. Leifei, we are up with you now. Back aboard the ship. Scarborough and Carrot are pushing cannons into position. What are you doing for the moment? You see B has just left the medical, by the way.
Right now, he's pulled a lever, causing the 2 coils on the side of the ship to flip to the side, and is sort of leaning the ship off towards where the asteroid is. And you can see electricity running off of them, sparking around until they meet with the rock. And I'm gonna try and do some sort of roll. I don't know what it would be.
Some sort of roll.
For when these coils, like a Tesla coil, meet with something that they can bounce to, it's gonna take all the electricity and just shoot it off at that rock and bounce the ship.
All right, so you're gonna try to use it just to move you completely sideways out of the ship. This is going to be a chaos roll. This would be magic. So you are using elemental earth to try to create, or to try to connect lightning to basically any type of iron strata, any type of ore that might be in this to give you that kind of, I don't even know what to call it at this point. So magnetism. You're using magnetism to launch yourself out of this hole. Give me a magical roll. Get higher than a 5 to avoid chaos. higher than a natural 5. And we'll see what happens.
There's earth element, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That is a 9.
Maybe a 9 total.
Lefe, a 9 won't be enough to get you out without any pain. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
Yeah, I'll ace.
All right, here goes an ace. Reroll. Your target is going to be a 13 or higher in order to succeed, and higher than a 5 to avoid chaos.
Easy.
That's an 11. You're too shy. Is there anything else you could do to add to that?
He thinks it. I don't believe so, unless Sirendari blood does, and I don't think it does.
Sirendari blood does give you some benefits on occasion. Let's see. You do have +2 to rolls against attacks, bonus to defenses. No, it doesn't look like you have anything that'll help with it specifically. However, you do have B nearby. B, if you're able to get a high enough roll in assisting in some way, you could potentially kick this around. Otherwise, the ship is going to take another hit. There's a +1 from Annika to Kai. We're only 1 shy.
I mean, B is happy to help.
You don't currently know what Lefe is doing, so there will need to be a scene where Lefe asks for assistance while this is happening.
So Lefe spots spots Zep like hovering over her in that sort of immaterial form, sort of very vague look of him. You could sort of see the horns. Zep is B. And as is going on, the electricity meets with it and then shoots off the ship. The whole thing goes careening. Oh no, B, magic problem.
Ooh, I can help with that.
All right, B, if you will spend 1 overload and give me a magical roll, you can assist and hopefully avoid damage to the ship. In order to give Lefe the support he needs, he only needs a +1, so you need to get at least a 12 or higher in order to save his bacon. 12! Right on the number. So you just kind of extend your arms out, and you see Zep just zip to the side, blast of wind around the edges of the ship. The lightning careens off of it. The ship is polarized one way. This section of the asteroid's polarized another. Well, the same. And it just forcibly ejects you right out the side. Suddenly, the ship jerks to the side. Everybody kind of holds on to whatever they can. And now it's free-floating in the void. Currently, can't be seen by the drone, but it is fast approaching. Lefe, you can just tell, based on the light that came off this thing's front side before, that it's approaching like headlights around the corner.
As you can see that, he's going to point out to Scarborough danger incoming as Carrot and him are shoving these things along.
Scarborough turns over. Beatrix, get over here and help us. Push this thing with us. We need to go quick.
Okay, let's do it.
Give us a strong roll, B. And B assists. All right. We now move over to Amos. Amos, individual in front of the pool table, loud screeching noise coming out of their headphones, fights and fire, gunfire coming from the hallway behind you. What do you do?
Blast it all, Red. And they are going to pursue where Red went, get some distance between themselves and the target that just attacked. And when they see the captain or
Commanding
whatever,
officer.
it's the burnt living. They are going not go around the corner, just move into range of them. Yeah,
There you
right
go.
about there.
Take a
They're
few
going to
steps
pop
back.
off a shot.
All right. So you're carrying a knife in one hand at the moment. Do you just replace that with your weapon?
I do that, yes.
All right.
They just slide it into the belt.
Grab a hold of the gun, turn around the corner, and just give us an attack. The commanding officer gets a 20. to avoid you.
A 20.
Yep. It's not a critical success. This is not a nemesis level enemy, so you can still best it as long as you get to 20 or higher.
Red Iron, we're going to have a talk after this is over.
No, it's okay. I have a plan.
And that is a 10. Doesn't look like you're going to hit that shot. They attack you, come out, you bring your gun forward. The officer sees that, immediately steps back, and avoids your shot. It goes wide. I'm going to say that your pivot didn't use your move action, so you still have one standard action remaining, but you can only fire a pistol, this particular one, once per round. So you can do something else, though. You can move. You can try to make a different type of attack.
Can they throw the knife? Sorry, holster their weapon, pick up the knife off their belt, and throw it at the guy who tried to shoot Amos.
You certainly can. So you turn and throw it at the one in front of the pool table, or on top of it, rather.
On top of, next to, through, same target.
Go ahead and roll the major's knife attack. And that soldier tries to defend himself, but doesn't move nearly fast enough. Amos, give us damage as you strike this individual. 8 points. You throw the knife. It flips end over end. How do you take this guy down?
Drop the gun into the belt. Same motion. Grab the knife. Pull back. Throw.
All right. Dagger just flips end over end through the air. Big old Bowie knife, and just right into the soldier's chest. Falls over. I'm going to have to roll a d8, audience, and see what direction he falls. And we'll see if he falls on the table on a 6, 7, or 8. 8.
That is
He
uncanny.
falls forward, and the dagger just... And you see blood begin pooling all over the back, because the table's upside down, of this pool table.
Why do
If
they
the
have to bleed
varnish
on the
is
pool
any
table?
good, it shouldn't stain.
A good
Yeah.
saltwater bath will fix that.
Right, we're
Just
back
get back to the barbecue already.
We're back to the crewmates. At this point, one of them just stops. The one in the hallway that was fighting, there's obviously some crazy stuff going on, stops to reach down and turn off their radio. The sound kind of comes out of their ears. Damn it. Ugh. You see this just bring up his rifle and fire at Red Iron inside the hallway again. So yet again another attack at you, Red Iron. This one is at -2, or if you just click the defense bubble there, I did that for you. Go ahead and roll defense if you want to do that, or if there's anything else you can try. Just let me know. 15 versus a 20. Red Iron's gonna get hit again. This one is right in the chest.
Yeah, I can't ace my way out of that. I can't do it.
And that is 7 points of damage to Red Iron to the chest.
Oof. Ow. That sucks.
You take a hit. Red Iron now starts bleeding his own blood. And another crewmate in the distance. We can hear them shuffling around. Not sure where they're at the moment. Let's see, there is another one that comes out around the corner. Let's see if they notice Sheldon working on the door. They do. Who do you think you are, little buddy? And you see a gun just fired at Sheldon from behind. No. Better option. He comes over and just looks like a little flying drone and just goes to grab Sheldon. So give me a C roll from him. Soldier gets a 19 versus an 11. Reaches down, grabs a hold of Sheldon. It's kind of moving everywhere, shouting out to you.
I have been apprehended. I have been apprehended.
A few times over and over.
Oh.
And
I am on my way, Sheldon.
The soldier that's there like twists and looks at this thing. Oh, it's got a weapon. Okay then, little buddy, we're just gonna. You see him open up a bag on his hip and just and close the
No.
flap of it. Sheldon has been captured at the moment. The one behind the door, you hear that squealing noise cease. You don't know what happened to that other soldier, but you hear another door open and close in the distance. B, we are back to you, back aboard the Archimedes. As you're standing there, you've helped push these cannons in the way. Scarborough goes, all right, so you stand on that one, you stand on that one, you stand on that one. Oh, that's me. I'll stand on that one. Yeah, get ready to fire on my signal. No sooner, no later. Got it?
Yes.
Excellent.
On your signal.
Right. As soon as that thing comes around the corner, we'll be seeing it right here. All of us are going to fire at the same time. And hopefully not miss, okay?
Okay.
Okay, Carrot says. Why am I letting him fire a gun? All right, so you're going to wait for the moment until the drone comes around the corner, I'm assuming. So
Yes, I will actually do my best.
Okay, it's going to be right after Red Iron that happens. Red, you are up. You're taking quite a few hits so far.
It's fine. Red is incapable of feeling fear and also doesn't suffer distraction because they're batshit insane. Red takes a beat and projects to the commanding officer. I don't know if you're expecting me to surrender, but I can't actually feel fear right now. And then Red pulls a gigantic monkey wrench out from a pouch, dive tackles, and swipes for the face. I actually forgot to add the one-handed basher to my sheet. How do I quickly calculate that?
It does 1d6 damage, so put that in the damage. Just bring a d6 over into there, and it has. Let's see. You can throw it up to 2 away if you want to. It does double damage to armor and causes distractions on unarmed opponents when you hit them. So that's all stuff that I need to keep track of. Your attack is equal to -2 because of your agile, and your damage is it's +1. Yeah. Because of your strong. So there you go.
All right, here we go. One-handed basher.
The commanding officer tries to defend itself as you rush forward and swing.
Did it not go?
It has not double-clicked.
It is fighting me. Can I just roll strong?
Yeah, you can do that.
Oh, wait. It went.
There it is. You got an 11. That is, however, enough to hit, because the opponent rolled very low. And you hit him right in the head, so this will be double damage. And since it destroys armor, you shatter his helmet, but he's not wearing one. So that is 4 points of damage. What does it look like as Red Iron has scalded this individual and then brains him? This is going to take the commanding officer down.
So Red dive tackles, they roll once, and then Red lands on top, and it's just like a quick whoop-pow.
And that is that for that soldier. Hey, they are down, clunk, hit the ground, cracked skull on the whole 9. And that was one action and a movement action, so that is your turn, unless you want to move further. You still have some extra movement left.
I'm going to say that little roll got Red all the way into a little deeper into that corner there. So that they actually have to come around to shoot him.
All right, so Red's moving all the way back.
Maybe right around by this plant here.
There you go. So you rolled in, past the garbage can, almost smacked into the plant, slammed that commanding officer in the face. Gives you a good place to hide at. At this point, we see it round the corner, that drone from before, red light cycling on the little scanning piece on the front, just... And Scarborough goes, all right, now, I mean, fire now. And everybody begins attacking. Give me an aware roll to fire, B. Boom. Scarborough gets a 7. Carrot gets a -3. And B, what do you get?
Trouble picking up the die. Here we go.
You got a 6. Boom! 3 gunshots
I'm
go
gonna
off.
re-roll that. I've got an ace.
All right.
Can I give you an ace tie for Carrot?
You can't give aces so far.
Damn it.
B, go ahead and use your ace. You double click on the ace there to use it, or just subtract it if you want. That is worse. That is a 1. So 3 cannonball shots go off, smash into a piece of asteroid, which goes.
That one more time.
Okay, here we go. Oh, 3. Dice are not with you today.
It's meant to miss.
3 shots go
It's
off.
meant to miss. That's all there is.
2 of them pepper an asteroid nearby, shattering pieces of its stone goes flying and flipping through the air. The last cannonball just right past this shape, very close to hitting it, but not quite good enough. And the drone just turns, and then you see 2 cannons like drop out of a little chamber in the front of it, as it is now aiming at the ship, and it takes shot. Into the void, you see 2 rushing bullets just flying through the air. Leife, give us an agile roll to defend with the ship in the position. Since you've moved, you do have the regular benefits of the ship's own defenses, so that is at +3. Go ahead and roll agile +3. The drone gets
Can't
a
fail here.
12 to hit you. Leife gets a 20 to avoid with the ship. Just swings it to the side, and you see those bullets just, one goes right past, one goes right over the deck, and you see Carrot just kind of turn as the wind just, you see Carrot's head start like rolling back and forth, and the eyes almost seem to be spinning in the socket. Whoa, that was a close one. And that is the drone's turn, as it now has engaged full offensive mode against you all. Back to the officers are all dead, so that's not a thing. Leife, it is your turn. Do you wish to save your actions for better defense, or do you want to move or do something with the rest of the crew?
I'll hold them for better defense.
Okay, so Leife waits. You will gain your waiting bonuses for any actions you take on when you have to make the next roll. Amos, we're back to you. You heard a loud thwack, a wet, meaty smack sound coming from out of the hallway, and the soldier that's in front of you is still bleeding profusely, creating a rather large pool that's beginning to drip down the sides of the table and onto the floor.
Are there any hostiles in the area?
Not in the direct vicinity. You do see that third arm that we forgot what was happening. What did third arm do on your last action, Red Iron? Because you still have to control that too.
Oh, oopsie. I feel like third iron. Oh, Jimmy. That's my whole brain. I feel like third arm would have gone back to work on the environmental control module.
All right, so moves back over. Give me another O roll as you do that, because the module was starting to go out of balance. Okay.
Well, that could have gone better.
So, Amos, on your turn, as you look around for threats, you see third arm working on the back of this thing, Clarion standing nearby. You hear the sounds of slamming things in the distance. The crack in the ceiling starts to expand rapidly, and the whole station begins shaking, and the ground starts leaving your feet as objects begin floating up a little bit. As gravity has now become a little bit more wonky, I need everybody to roll agile to retain their positions and to not have problems moving. Clarion gets a 6. Red gets a 15. Excellent.
I've got the rolls tonight.
You do. Amos gets a 7. From your position, Amos, you now kind of drift up, and you're not touching the floor. As you try to correct yourself, you start turning sideways in the air. So you're going to have to use additional movement to get around if you're going anywhere. What do you attempt to do now?
Probably go after that Lesrin barbecue and the sound of meat being... It sounds like a butcher's plant in the other room. They're going to take a look.
All right, so you turn and you kind of move through the air. You use your shield almost like a paddle as you kind of push yourself over towards the doorway.
Yeah, just kneeling on the shield, just kind of paddle boarding around the environment, just nonchalantly.
And as you push yourself through the hallway, you see a huge smear of blood and ash and little bits of metal fragments and red scales on the floor and a smear that goes off into the distance, but no red iron, because currently he's kind of down and behind a garbage can and you can't see him. Off to your right, there is a soldier in the hallway with a rifle pointed at you. Another one that has just finished shoving something into a bag.
Officer. And they are going to pull out the cinnabar. Just sort of, fire. Since gravity and
Bang!
probably less.
Give me an attack roll with that. Now, if you brace your hand and put the shield down temporarily, you can take advantage of double-handing a weapon using a palm to the butt of the gun aim type thing. Do you wish to do that, or do you want to make sure your shield is still handy?
Can I argue that the recoil is just going to send them flying backwards?
I mean, that's
with the shield on
absolutely
them?
going to happen.
I think they are going to hold on to the shield with one arm and then fire with the other.
All right, so shield to your left, firing with your right. Give me an attack. Soldier tries to defend themselves in this now gravity-less situation, getting a 6 versus your 6.
Can I burn an ace?
You can. Oh, versus a 2.
Can I at the very least... You know what? No, I've already burned an ace.
All right.
Let's just say that they go flying.
You turn, you go to fire, and maybe you didn't think about the recoil for just a split second, and suddenly it just kind of launches you into the wall where your shield is currently braced at, and you just bounce off of it. Give me an agile roll to keep your feet, or you're going to go tumbling in a random direction. Target is a 10 or higher to avoid moving. 19, that's a
Let's go with
20.
the 20.
So you brace yourself at this point. You turn the shield just slightly sideways into the door frame, or into this little hallway space, and you just stop yourself. So now you're able to stay there appropriately. Amos, that was your action. The soldier that you fired at kind of twisted in the air, bounces off the wall, points his rifle at you, and then thinks a little better of it, uses the butt of it to launch himself backwards, and starts coming around the corner where this other soldier was. When they get to the hallway, you hear a door open after a keypad touch, or whatever you want to call it, and they start going into that room, wherever that is. The other soldier nearby sees you, and this time looks over. Well, shit's fucked. You see him reach onto his belt. He grabs a small, round object. You see him bring it up to his mouth. He pulls a pin and launches it over towards you, Amos, before turning and running down the hallway. He tosses a copper pot grenade right next to you. How do you like to defend yourself?
I'm going to spend one overload on a reflexive action to kick the grenade back at them.
Ah, lightning parry. Go ahead and give me your roll versus the opponent. They got a 12. If you get higher than a 12, you will launch it away. If you get higher than a 15, you'll launch it at them.
Just roll regular parry.
Yep, regular parry. That is an 8. You are 4 shy of being able to kick this away. You want to ace again? Do you have another one?
I don't have
don't.
any aces, and I'm not going to burn my wisdom.
You don't want to burn your wisdom? All right. Well, here comes an explosion in front of you.
It's not there yet.
So let's see. It lands directly in front of you. So this is going to be a area, what is it? 4. Okay. So we'll grab this. And that area right there is where the explosion goes off. It's going to hit you, damage some of the walls nearby. There's also a venting of some kind, a set of tubing in front of you that's going to take a hit. So we now have an explosion go off. This is called enveloping damage. You will determine where this damage goes on your body. If you don't have enough to take all of it without getting wounds, each wound you decide to take is worth 5 points of health. If you'd like to completely cripple and destroy a limb, that's another 5 points of health. But this is not the biggest grenade in the world. It does 4 points of damage to you, so distribute that as you will around your body. So you're just around the corner, you're heavily armored, the explosion goes off, but it does not do that much.
I'd like to think they try to kick it, so the grenade just bounces ever so gingerly off of their big toe and just goes off right next to the shin guard.
All right. You do currently have one distraction until you can make a tough roll to get rid of tinnitus. As the explosion
I couldn't hear you over the ringing. What'd you say?
Exactly. And at that point, whoops, close the map.
Did I get a turn? It looks like you went to the top of the round and then did the drone, and then I didn't get a turn.
You are correct. I apologize for that. When the drone wasn't actually added in the right spot. So it is your turn at this point. We'll just jump to that now. Sorry, Clarion.
Okay. That's okay. Just wanted to make sure. So I think Sheldon will. What's the pouch made of that he's in?
Have him roll an O roll to determine. He's in the dark. Didn't really see it. So you can attempt to scan it real quick. Yep. It is a burlap sack mixed with some sort of like mixed thread.
Okay, so he can shoot right through it at this guy's leg.
Yes.
Then that's what he is going to do.
Sheldon just fires inside the bag. Give me a attack roll real quick. That is going to hit. Give me a high or low, Clarion.
I'm going to go high.
High. Okay. As the flash of light from this attack occurs from Sheldon, what type of weapon does Sheldon use again? I can't quite remember.
I think it's just like your regular, I think it was like a laser.
Right, that's right. So this beam of light starts emitting out to like shoot into his leg. You're going to cause damage to the soldier, but as the light lights up the bag, you see there are grenades in it, and one of them goes and starts to explode. Sheldon, you have one chance to try to avoid some damage here by escaping the bag. Give me a O roll to try to get away. This is going to be an 18 or higher. Nope, Sheldon's going to get hit.
It was almost an 18. Can I use an ace on that?
You can use an ace on any of your rolls, so yes, you can. You can try again. That is not high enough. So the bag detonates, and we'll see if any of the other grenades go off based on this roll here. Okay. 3 of the grenades detonate from the intense heat. 1 is blasted away and doesn't go off. And Sheldon and the soldier both take 33 points of damage, exploding them in that hallway and collapsing part of the room. Sheldon's signal just blinks out suddenly, Clarion.
You're gonna make me have to sing taps again for the second episode in a row? Oh my God, Benjamin's got a trumpet! Bless you.
Not only has a trumpet, but can play taps.
Benjamin, give yourself an ace. I really appreciated that. So,
That was amazing.
unfortunately, Sheldon has been fragmented. It'll be up to you to try to collect the scrap to repair, or possibly have to build a new TA in the future if there's not enough of Sheldon left to repair him. Pop. B, we come back to you. At this point, Scarborough's off to the side going, oh, wait, no. I apologize. I did it again. That was just Sheldon's action. Clarion, you still have your actions. What are you doing with those?
I'm going to run towards the door and probably skid past Amos and like just catch myself on the wall as the grenade goes off.
Okay.
At the opposite wall, I was thinking, just with the momentum.
Give me an agile. You only have 5 moves, so technically you can only
Oh.
make it here, but you could potentially slide the rest of the distance because you're currently weightless. So, all right.
Nope.
That was a 13, not a 5. I don't know why it showed a 5 on the screen, but the die showed 13. So I'm gonna say that you do slip over. The explosion goes off, kind of shoves you in this direction, around the corner. It doesn't injure you, but that's where you're at. And yeah. That's roughly when you see that big explosion go off in the distance, and that's when lights go out for Sheldon.
She definitely has a moment where she just blinks a couple times, and then she's like, no, focus, combat. And then she looks over and she says, Red Iron, are you injured?
Yes, quite a bit, but don't worry about it.
It is my job to worry. And she I guess she'll just use some more movement to go over to him.
All right, so you drift over to Red Iron and prepare to assist when you have the chance. And that is...
we're all here.
Now it's B's turn. So, B, back over to you. Scarborough yells at you. We missed! We weren't supposed to miss! Why did we... Carrot, somebody stepped on my toe. I swear that was it. Load him up again. Reload him. And you see him start, like, reloading the gun. Roll Agile to assist with that. Is there anything else you would like to do? Or use any of your particular skills to assist in any way?
No, I think she's
Nice.
going to. I think she's at a point where she's just following Scarborough's directions until such time as she gets distracted.
All right. So Scarborough helps you all reload. Leifei, give me an aware roll.
Got it.
That is a 12. Something happened. As you're staring out there at this drone that is drifting towards you, you see the light on its eye basically start doing this weird different color pattern and going from red to green, and it just starts floating forward instead of like flying at you anymore.
Scarborough,
Yeah?
drop the grape shot for a second.
Oh, but we need that to protect ourselves. What are you talking about?
What is it doing?
You're flying some fuck all gun thing at us. What do you want?
Look at it. B, look at it. What is it doing?
It's blinking.
The lights are weird. It's almost as if it lost signal.
This Carrot just goes, I have those moments too.
Understandable, Carrot.
So,
Sylvia. Do you know what it's doing?
There appears to have lost its connection to its host.
Can you connect to it?
I will attempt to.
And Sylvia rolls to see if she can connect wirelessly to this drone. She got an 11, but Leifei gets to choose because he's the last one to have done this, since it was a critical failure. Leifei, does Sylvia not know what this technology is really all about with this thing, and maybe messing with it? Either one, turns it back on, and now it's more self-aware than before, or two, make it explode accidentally.
Huh. Do I have a coin here?
I mean, we have dice.
Wow, that's even better. 1, it explodes on us. 20, it gets ready to fire on us.
You have that 1 or 20? What?
Or low or high.
There you go.
So, explodes.
All right, so Sylvia connects to this thing. It's got a strange mind. And some sort of failsafe. Brace yourselves. And you see the thing go from flickering green to red to suddenly orange and red, fast pulsing as it gets closer and closer to the ship. Leifei, you have 1 moment to decide what action to take. There is that crevasse inside of the asteroid that's slightly too small for you could go towards, or you could try to go away or up above it. If you go away, you'll have to turn the whole ship. If you go straight up, you might clip the top of it, the sails, things like that. Some of those rotor blades you have, if you do poorly.
We'll go up.
Going up? Okay.
And as he pulls his lever again, these side things just go back down. Thank you for trying, Sylvia.
You are welcome. And Leifei, if you can give us an agile roll as you attempt to maneuver the ship at +3, you need to have an 18 or higher to avoid any damage whatsoever, but you need a 14 or higher to avoid the explosion.
If this is this technically its attack on us?
Yes, this would be counted as its attack on you.
Can I burn my reflexive action since I was waiting
Yes, you can.
to get a +2 on this as well?
Absolutely. Leifei is using that cool collected mind to go, okay, up. All right, at +5, go ahead and give us
Wait a
that roll.
second.
What's that?
Never mind. Until I fail this. What is it? Agile?
It is agile. That is a 20 as Leifei expertly maneuvers the ship up, squeaks by, causing little bits of the asteroid nearby that you scraped off the outer layer of to just kind of against the side of the ship. And the explosion that goes off underneath you causes the whole ship to kind of bounce. Roll agile to stay on your feet, everybody. Scarborough stays up. Leifei stays up. Beatrix stays up. Carrot has a spinning die.
I mean, appropriate.
Carrot stays up. Everybody's on their feet. There's 2 other rolls I have to make, though. 3 technically. 1, 2. Okay. Great. There is a bang and a oh no from the medical facility nearby, the med bay. As we are very quickly shunted back to there with our view as Cullens kind of gets flung to the side and the captain bounces up, hits the ceiling, rolls into the ground, smashes into a cupboard. A bunch of things fall over on top of them.
Clarion's gonna get back and be like, I'm sorry, what happened to my patient?
Red Iron, you're up. You see a large crack in the ceiling appear. You hear squealing, and you get a message from far away. The base is no longer suitable for life. You may wish to leave soon, Red Iron. It's about to fragment.
Duly noted, Sylvia. I actually have a plan. Kind of.
You do?
Yes. So, third arm is going to... Let's see here. It's just us in this room, huh?
Yep, just you.
Third arm is going to hop right on back to that environmental control module and shut the entire base down except our room, including venting everything.
Just create a sealed space just where you're at.
I'm just going to seal us in, and I'm just going to vent the whole rest of the base. Whole thing.
All right, give me an O roll. We'll see how quickly third arm is able to do that.
Gird your aces, everybody.
I don't have any.
So that will take with
Ace.
an 8 ace. All right.
I'm acing.
Oh, that's
Ace.
a 5. That's worse. 10. Plus 2, I believe. Plus 3. Yep.
Probably.
It's got a 13
Plus
then.
3.
So third arm gets a 13, and you immediately hear everything in here clamps back down as gravity kicks back in, kind of fall a little bit. And you hear this hissing noise coming from the other rooms. We see the camera shift over to the other 2 soldiers who are remaining inside of a small room with dials and knobs and buttons and radio equipment, like reaching to grab and contact someone on the radio. And then air goes out, and they're staring at it, and they start screaming and holding their throats and floating in the room as you have stopped them from sending a message.
I think you can get Sheldon back now, Clarion.
I'm sorry. What did you call me?
Clarion.
Okay. Please do not confuse me and Sylvia. We are entirely different creatures.
I agree with Clarion. That is very insulting to me that you would call her me.
I don't know if any of you have noticed, but I can't tell the difference between individuals half the time.
You are incapable of finding the difference between me and Clarion.
Yes. Honestly, Sylvia, if you weren't so invasive, I would have a hard time telling the difference between you and the base we're standing in.
I am very disappointed in this revelation. I will be musing by myself for a while.
I'm very disappointed that you didn't notice sooner.
No message comes back.
I am intrigued as to what the other half of this conversation is, but I will have to find out later.
Anyway, if we give it a few seconds, I think we'll have the run of this place.
Noted.
Coughs.
All right. At this point, we will be leaving initiative order because all the major threats are gone, and we will be moving around through here just to see what everybody else is up to at the moment. So, very shortly after everything is vented and this one space is being held together, that crack in the ceiling is still like getting slightly larger, and you can actually see like the stars through it now. But the atmospheric generator is still protecting this area, and as long as it keeps running, you'll be fine. Unfortunately, Red Iron and Clarion, both of you can tell that the power levels have started to drop as lighting starts flickering and going in and out, and the door panels next to you have turned off. So what do we see Clarion and Red Iron doing right now?
Clarion is checking Red Iron over for any urgent medical needs. If it's just his arm, she's just going to like patch up, like trim a few wires here and there, and then try to remove the dangling bits so he can maneuver better.
Okay.
Clarion, hold on. Red Iron is actually going to attempt to stop Clarion. Clarion,
Listen to me.
Yes?
I actually can't feel pain or fear right now, so but I can recognize that all of the blood that you need for the captain is about to freeze in the void of space. We need to do that right now, and I will be fine probably eventually.
If you insist.
I do.
And then she is going to go. Yeah, she's gonna have to leave Sheldon where he is and go see if there are any humans remains elsewhere.
So the officer that was here on the floor, the head bashed in, was a human. So is the individual who unfortunately has bled all over the pool table in the other room. And there was one, I guess you didn't see, Sheldon had eyes on one, the one that was in the bag, but that's not doable right now. You might want to check the base for any supplies that they have medically, if you can find that room. Currently,
well, she doesn't have to breathe, so she's probably the best choice.
True. So where do you head to look first? You've got 2 doors nearby. You've got the one down near where Sheldon was, and there's another hallway, obviously.
Let's try the hallway first in case if the power is going, I probably want to open the door before the power fails.
Okay. So which door?
The one to the east.
One to the east.
Down and east.
Oh, the one
where
down
Sheldon was trying to open.
there. Okay. You move down below, you go over to that door, and you'll open it here in just a moment. Red Iron, what do you do as Clarion walks off?
So she's headed towards the door where Sheldon was,
Yes.
basically, which that tracks. Red is going to head back over to the third arm and see if there's any sort of like relay or ability to actually see the station from that position.
Inside of this room, there's nothing that will show you the systems. However, if you were able to create some sort of visual panel yourself, or if you're able to plug yourself in some way to the equipment here, maybe try to see if there's some sort of external camera feed or schematics that are on board this ship. The atmospheric generator can determine, if you have a way to view it, what the dimensions are of any place that it's controlling or that it's extending to, that kind of thing, kind of like you would see in sonar.
Red is going to grab the ping pong table, flip it over on its side, and then use it as like a makeshift projector screen to get a map of so the projector is going to land on there, and then Red is going to pipe the feed through the third arm.
Okay, so third arm is going to act almost like an engrave etcher and just burn images very quickly into the table at this point, based on what you have. So give me a brains roll as you attempt to jury rig this whole situation up and create some wood-burned engravings of what the ship's supposed to look like. 21!
That's right.
All right, so we'll come back to that in just a moment as it starts happening. Amos, what are you doing at the moment as you see Red coming around the corner, heading off towards one room, Clarion heading off towards another?
First, they are going to roll aware because that was combat, and they don't know really what happened beyond the fact that everything is ringing.
Okay, go ahead and roll aware. Let's see if you can get past your tinnitus. That is a 7. So, no, your ears are still ringing. You're looking around. You're kind of in that shock, that daze that's almost like someone flashbanged you. Your ears are ringing. There's like those little wavy, too much light things in your eyes. Your toe is numb.
They just open their mouth and let out a lesbian scream. Then they just float over to B.
The gravity has returned, so you can walk now. So you walk over behind B?
They go over to B to talk.
B isn't here. You mean Clarion?
Clarion, excuse me.
All right.
They were looking for Clarion, thought it was B.
Apparently that bomb has scrambled your
Clarion.
brain slightly. All right, so Amos comes over behind Clarion as you go to the door. Do you say something to Clarion?
What's our status? What's going on?
The station is, I believe the rest of the station has been vented by Red Iron and should have suffocated the crew. We are currently in the part of the operation for recovering supplies. I am looking for medical to see if they have actual blood bags before we salvage makeshift blood bags.
From literal bodies.
I'm going to turn them into a record player if they keep making decisions like this.
Talk to Sylvia. I believe she has something to do with his current state of fearlessness.
Most definitely.
All right. Clarion.
Where is Sheldon?
Clarion just kind of looks around at like the little shards embedded in the floors and the walls.
You see like a person just exploded here, and there is bits and fragments of metal everywhere.
They look down at the fragments. They look over at Clarion. They let out a sigh. They pat her on the shoulder and said, "We can scrape together what's left. We'll have a funeral or a rebuilding, whatever.
I can rebuild
more
him.
Appropriate."
I would appreciate it if you could spot his memory unit. Most of his useful tricks were programmed in there.
Amos, as Clarion asks you to find this memory unit, we'll have you roll an aware roll. And Clarion, you will be rolling a brains roll to get through this door real quick. So
Got to be kidding me.
Clarion will be opening this door, but Amos finds the memory unit fragged and destroyed.
They're gonna. He's done. They're gonna pick it up and put it in a pouch. Then they're gonna keep it on hand until they get back to the ship.
As the door is about to open, Red Iron, the table in front of you starts to, you see the little map kind of read out burning into there, and you see an anomaly. One, you see the general shape of the station, and you recognize that area that Clarion is moving into is the hangar. The hangar is mostly gone at this point and is open to the void. You believe that if Clarion opens that door, she might get sucked outside.
Clarion, wrong one.
Clarion,
I cease and desist.
as the door is opening and you see pressure as Red Iron states that, we will be right back, everybody, as we're going to our break for tonight's episode. We'll be back in about 10 minutes. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you're enjoying yourselves. We shall see what happens to Clarion and Amos standing nearby as explosive decompression is about to happen. So, thank you again for watching. And I'm a jerk. And yeah, be right back.
Explosive decompression, my.